So right now, we're going to call the meeting to order. Ask everybody to stand. We'll have pledge of allegiance. Paul, would you lead us?
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Howell.
Here.
Mr. Siegmund here, and I am here. So let's move on now to any communications. Anybody wanting to speak today?
We have a,
VA hospital.
Yes. you look inside here that the, get to it here, the Lewis A. Johnson VA Medical Center is having a VA Shining Tribute to Our Heroes event on Wednesday, December the 4th, 2024 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the lobby there at the Lewis A. Johnson VA Medical Center. They're going to be highlighting all the donors and stuff that donated to their
Many
event.
festival of lights that got one. Yeah.
And they invited us to be there. So
Is this some of the lights that we donated?
Yep.
Okay.
$1,000.
We bought a
for light
display. Like they have at Fairmont Morris Park, lower scale, smaller scale, be nice. You plan to go? Can you go?
What day is this?
Wednesday,
And
5
it's,
o'clock,
3 to 5, no, 5 to
5
7.
to 7.
Yeah, it depends on,
Which Wednesday? It's
well,
the
yeah, it depends what Wednesday.
December 4th, yes.
December 4th.
Yeah.
Paul, can you make it?
We'll try.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes, I have to look at my, I'm having an Inspire surgery. I know I have to go to Morgan County the 4th or 5th. I don't know what day it is. So I will try.
Well, at least you can sign us all three.
Yes.
If somebody has a problem, can't show.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you'll be there, won't you? All righty. Doug, you want to go?
I think right.
December 4th.
So I think
I was going to say, next question, what they're going to have food.
food.
They're going to have some cookies and stuff.
All right,
Okay,
I guess
let's
I'll-
move on that. Any other
I'll
correspondence?
let them know that we'll be there.
Any other correspondence?
That's it.
Okay. So let's go for the approval of the minutes, and we have two meetings. We had our original meeting, and then we had a special board meeting when we had to do the resolutions for the city for their meeting, what, a week ago. So what's your pleasure on the meeting of October 22nd?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay. Second, any further discussion? So it's motion to approve the minutes of October 22nd as presented to us. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the special meeting on Wednesday, November 6th.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, it was pretty straightforward in our minutes. So any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's go right now to our financial items.
All right, Bob Davis is on vacation this month, so in his place, we have Gil Haynes in the back. Gil's going to go over the monthly
Welcome, Gil.
chemical cost.
You're involved in hunting most of the month, but anyway, okay, for the month, I guess October, you got Delpac was 14,965. Potassium was just over 5,000. Chlorine's 5,100. You got caustic at 16,000. Fluoride is 1,100. Polymer has been the same about every month. Sulfur dioxide was up to 900. It's up a little bit this month. Phosphate's 10,000. And for the month, it's 53,999, $1,800 more for the past month. Extra day in there, and main part of that was the chemistry of the water as the temperature drops, the air and the water changes just a little bit. So once everything evens back out, we're good. So actually, the guys did a good job this year operating, not babysitting. They actually operated instead of just setting stuff in.
All right.
So that's why I call them the chemical cost was down just a little bit. Well, it could have been higher with that swing with the chemistry of the water.
So they monitored very close.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got some younger guys and they.
Any questions for Gil?
Gil, you want to explain to them, not to put you on the spot, but I know you'll be able to answer it, how you use the early warning system to kind of get ahead of the curve with your
Yeah,
business?
that's worked out really nice. That thing, we all check it out. It does give alerts if you have the pH goes out of whack where your TDS get really high. Haven't had too many issues with them yet, but we've had a few alerts and went out and checked them out. It just happened to be a little glitch or nothing major yet, but it has been a real big help because, 15, 20 minutes sometimes does mean a heck of a lot.
Is that about what time it takes to come around the bend there?
Yeah, something like that.
Do you see a lot of fluctuation or is it significant?
Yeah.
pH?
No, it's, everything's pretty even. It matches with our stuff for the most part. Like, so there was one day last week, the TDS went way high. I mean, extremely high. We're like, oh crap. So maintenance guys went down and it was nothing. Something had been through that just messed it up some part or something. But so it is nice. Yeah, we keep an eye on that. It hasn't been an issue yet, but we know what to look for.
I know it tests for a number of things. What do you look for when you're,
pH, that means a lot. Your TDS can mean quite a bit.
what's the
Those
main
are
two?
main things that you want, because if some kind of chemical comes through, it's going to whack the pH way up or way down, and the TDS can go through the roof. So, a good indication.
And then so when it hits that, if you need to start tweaking some chemicals, you can get ahead of it before.
Yeah, and of course you have time before you even get down into the basin, but that extra time has been really nice. So we practice every once in a while. So it's an issue what to do, just because you don't want to have that, prior something we've not that practice. So.
Yeah, and I think that helps with our chemical costs too.
Yeah, and it is.
For them to be able to really dial it in and get ahead of it before it actually gets to the plant, so they can really dial it in. So I mean, these guys are always on top of it. So.
It's been an unusual summer.
Yeah.
Fall. Yeah. Not hardly any rain. Fluctuations in temperatures, cold nights, warm days.
Mhm. Yeah, that can play havoc, but
I was going to say, you guys had to be really on top of it.
yeah, there was about a week to 10 days that got a little hairy, but like, they paid real close attention and kept things down without going as feet of us again.
That's why we have the pros we have, like you, man. Thank you a lot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's it. I just did an interview yesterday with the newspaper. They gave me a call thing and about the drought. I said that the drought has not affected us.
Thank God we didn't take that dam out.
And I said, this is confirmation that the board made the right decision.
Feels a little up when I was walking by the trail last
That's
week.
the only reason
Real.
that we didn't have any problems this year.
Not to take 6-8 million gallons a day out would be really a problem. Okay, any other questions about this? Hey, Gil, thank you a lot.
Yes, sir.
Let's move on.
All right, Jason Farrell's up next, talk about the vendor history reports for month and year-to-date ending October 31st, 2024.
Nothing really to stand out in this report, but I know there will be, next month, there'll be a standout in there, and that will be USALCO. I'll give you a heads up on it now. Is USALCO's, they've been kind of behind on getting us their invoices. And, we had probably invoices each month from May to October, outstanding until they finally sent them all to us last month. They drop off our order, but they never send us the invoice. So, that will be on the next month's report for, we didn't get those paid until, November 1st. So those will be on the next report. And those will stand out because there'll be almost $100,000 there for Delvac. But if you guys have any questions on this one here, I'll be happy to answer.
I looked through this day before yesterday when you sent it. Now, I marked the one at home up. I can't find what I was going to ask if that was something wasn't very major. It was just one of our vendors. I'm trying to figure out who they were, but that's okay. I can get back to you later. What's your pleasure, guys, on this? You want to?
I'll move to approve the vendor report as presented.
That's second.
All right, motion on the floor. And let's vote on it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right.
All right, up next, we have the financial statements for month ending October 31st, 2024. Jason Farrell.
All right, we are 33.33% through the fiscal year so far. Our current debt service factor is 7.15. Current water sales are 1.86% over budget, which at this point, which I believe they should be a little bit higher than that, since we haven't started paying the rates increase that took place was supposed to increase the rates for the bond payment listings. So I think that's still kind of low. And then our overall revenues is up by 2.14% over budget. A lot of contributing factors to that is the increase in, we're still getting that high interest from our reserve account, so that helps in our lockbox account, which increases that portion of revenues up some. And then, but we are currently 2.53% under budget on our expenses,
So it's a good thing.
which is a good thing,
Yeah.
yes. I like to see that will be a little bit higher, but,
Any questions on this?
and then chemical budget's 32.24% expense, so we're under budget on chemicals, which is good.
Yeah, Mr. Manager, you have any thoughts about this up here? Chad?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh. Okay, how about a motion to accept the financial?
I'll make a motion that we accept the financial report as presented.
Second.
Been moved and duly seconded. We've had some discussion. Any further? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Manager?
All right, the last thing under the financial items is we have unaccounted for water loss report.
That's looking good.
I think.
Yeah, looking at
I'm tired of this one, but it's still low for a year.
Haven't been there forever.
All right, unaccounted for water loss. Our loss finished for last month, or for the month of September, was 15.18, which that's really good for, we've never, we had 2 months last year, towards the end of the fiscal year was like 14 something for loss to finish, but now we're holding steady anywhere from 16, 15% for the last couple of months. And our total percentage loss to finish is 16.37, which I think at that point last year, we finished that out still above 17. And our total unaccounted for right now is 13.02, which is amazing, which I've never seen it that low.
It's really
You always want to be a little bit.
Yep, and we're below 15 on the total unaccounted for.
Super job. Okay.
But last month was at 14.02.
Yeah, that was something.
We're down basically 1 whole percent.
Do we know why we're doing so good? Is it with some of the new construction we've had?
I think it's
Out here.
it's just
Right out here.
It's
That's
a
what
big
I'm saying.
portion of it's Chestnut Street.
It's being aggressive on leak detection and.
How are we coming with bulk water sales? What's happening there now that we moved the location?
I know Aaron's putting that stuff in. I know it was high the month before. I'm not sure what it is like for the month of September because he's entering that stuff now, but we were, I think the month of September, I think it was 675,000 gallons were sold just through down here.
What do we sell it?
$5, $5.25 a thousand.
How do we keep record of that?
We send invoices out, which that gets, and then that creates the journal entry. But the way they account for that is basically, it's an honor system down there. And for every, 1,000, amount they load in their truck is the amount that they put on their thing. But like I said before, I mean, if they let it down there and let it explode out the back of the truck or with going out of the ground, we're losing that as unaccounted for because they're not accounting for that when the only thing they're accounting for is the amount they're actually leaving with their truck capacity.
How much would it be like to get something more like electronic or like more of a meter?
We've had a meter before one time.
The meter, we can't have meters down there because when they open it up, they blow out the guts of the meter and they don't work.
So there's no other way rather than the honor system?
No,
Yeah.
there's a bulk water station that we're looking at, but you're looking at about 50 grand.
In the long,
So
The trouble is you'll
we're
have to
doing
look,
the cost benefits.
you'll have to look
Yeah,
at
that's
cost
what-
benefit
We think it
analysis.
will be.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Especially if you're looking at
We're not
administration.
I mean, we've been looking at it for the last.
For this year, it might be a good investment for us.
Yeah, we're, just had Clyde get me some updated pricing on the bulk water system, the bulk water station down there. From a couple of years ago to now, they're about 50 grand.
Well, let's do it this way, maybe. Can we add a camera there that would capture the truck or the size of the truck and the time?
It's not gonna account for how much water is coming out of that.
I thought we based it on the size of the truck.
Well, the size.
I know they,
But the thing of it is, they mark their stuff down, except for when they hook it up and when they
well, there's
overfill their truck
losses
and
or when they
the
pull it
loss
out
from
or
the
water
ground.
spraying.
What
That's
would
what
we say?
That's the amount we're losing.
So if they spill, then you can charge them extra.
How much
You can charge them extra for that spill out because they're,
We could
it's
see, it.
technically
We could
they're,
see the spill, we could see that.
Are we noticing how much like from spillage? I'm getting data from that.
there's no data for that because there's nothing to meter it.
Okay,
And then we did meter it, like I said, the meter readings never lined up. They actually was actually put on the thing. So you know that's then that of course that it's counted for because it's lost there because it's, but
Like anyone observed, like, had been down there to see major spill?
I've seen it back.
Yeah,
I stopped there and talked to
Yeah,
them
so
one
you-
night. There were 2 trucks there. I thought-
Yeah, I'd like to see, I'd like to see, I'm just curious.
Let's ask Bobby something. Bobby, that's kind of in your area down there.
Yeah.
Not where it is now, but it's over across the road.
Yes,
I know I would see sometimes 2 trucks there that
they
pulled
fill up
in,
one at a
pulled
time.
out, so on. You know, it seemed like I've been on the board on 24 years now. I mean, we had a big increase when they started Marcellus drilling and all that. We started seeing all these trucks needing the water.
I'd say you're
And
gonna
they
see
were all-
it again.
Pardon, you think we'll see it again?
Oh, yeah.
Because I know we did have some problems with these guys going to our, down by, what's Wilsonburg Road, pulling up to our hydrants there at Limestone Junction and starting to say, just tap into Clarksburg Water and open a meter. So
I'd say you'll see it pick up.
you will,
The last week has been busy down there again.
okay. I just wonder if the stuff was coming to it,
Because
it's slowing up.
Drunk baby.
I think you give those numbers, I think
Crack,
it'd be definitely something to look at for investment.
Yeah, I've got them.
Well, we'd have to look at, like you said,
Options to lower that cost, but from what we're getting back, it's around $50,000.
our manager said it, we'd have to look at a cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
And we go spend a ton of money to save a few dollars, and it may take us 20 years to recover anything. We just need to look more into it. You're gonna do that, absolutely.
But if it
Any
takes
other-
10-15 years to do, I mean, as long as they're still pulling water from down there, it's, you know, it's, and it takes a little bit of time, but you know, you spread that cost benefit over the life, the kind of the life of the product itself. So if it's, you know, if it's projected to last 10-15 years, then you project it over the life of the product of
Yeah.
what it's
And the
worth.
system they put in, how long it's gonna last, what it's gonna cost to maintain.
Well,
There's a lot of factors involved.
And it's a pretty complex system. I mean, you're talking, there's 2 different, there's like a 3-inch hookup and a 2-inch hookup. It depends on what they're filling up. And they'll have a card that is issued to.
Just like
the company.
accessing a gas.
Yeah, so they'll go up, strike it, it's gonna say ABC Oil Company,
Records the time,
and then time, date,
how much.
turn it on, fill the truck up, shut it off, and then it records and sends the date up here, and that's what they get billed. Now, if they don't pay, we just turn the card off, boom, they can't get no more
They
water.
can't get no more water.
They just get in one of our hydrants. Try to anyway.
Battle River.
Any further questions on this? Because we get talking.
And then it's work out freezing up, it has it done built in, it's got a built-in
Did
heater
anyone
and
confront
stuff.
that
So
guy? Oh, but did anyone go, like, when they saw it, did they say, hey, to the guy? Send me a
Yeah,
video.
that's just one time.
I haven't seen
I
it today. I've been on the road. I didn't
Oh,
see it.
yeah.
Okay, let's move on then. We can kind of talk this out. Any further questions on it? Because, you know, we've kind of given some instructions. Let's move on to the next item. Okay.
All right, the Chestnut Street Water Line Replacement Project. I've got Steve down here. Steve's kind of got a handle on that. So I'll let Steve, there's not much of a project update, more or less, pay requisitions and things like that, that Steve has.
Got a couple. Copy. This is basically the letter from Green River Group requesting substantial completion. We didn't agree with their first date, talked with Dave Burns, and they revised that date. So September 31st is what we're calling substantially complete. That's when the product is operational, and that includes all the paving work as well. So that basically what this is doing is starting your 1-year warranty period on September 23rd. So the second page, that's basically the agreement saying that it's basically everything in the project. And
So we're signing off right now. The job completed and there's a warranty involved.
it's completed and the warranty period.
So it's pretty simple. I mean, as far as the explanation. once it's
Did you
all-
say September 30th?
September 20th.
September
Okay,
23rd.
That's what I thought you said the
I might
30th.
have said that, but.
So it's
September 23rd.
it is, yeah, okay.
And then in the last page is a punch list. We had probably 20 items and we're taking care of a lot of that issue in the meantime. And in the red, basically Green River Group came back and said, hey, these items have already been taken care of. So the waiting to remove the silt fence and some of the vegetation takes a little more effect on the creek for the board. So my recommendation, I have signed that, my recommendation is for the board to
Sign off on it.
accept this request.
But those two items you mentioned about the silt fence and whatever, that is, let me see, two, if you're moving the fencing.
That's the containment they have.
Yeah, I know what it is, but
That's
until
it.
80% of vegetation.
Grass.
So what that means is, yeah, they, with sparse grass, they can't remove the silt fence, they've got to wait till the vegetation is.
So they gotta wait till grass is in or greens up with
So it might
weeds or
even be
whatever.
next spring.
Okay, till it turns green.
And I think we agreed to take that.
You
I
guys
think
want-
we agreed to take that, right, Bob?
Yeah, because the water trucks spill water and
Yeah, I
stuff,
think we agreed to
and
take
it
that out.
just,
when the time
it's gonna be
comes.
forever
Take what?
for grass to grow there.
To take
Because
those,
it's always
Silt
saturated.
silt fence
Explain.
out.
silt tops, stuff in the fence
It
area.
washes away till you put it down.
Because right
Nice
now,
scrap on the
it's
creek.
helping us when those guys overthrow the trucks down there. It goes into these containment areas.
All right, well, that makes sense, Bobby. It's a good idea. What's your pleasure, guys? We want to sign this thing off?
Yeah, I'll move to approve, the substantially complete contract, yeah, agreement.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. It's been duly seconded. Hearing any other discussion? Since there's none, we'll authorize, is our manager sign here somewhere or what?
He's got there for you to
Funding
sign.
agency? Okay, but you be authorized to sign it. It's already signed probably. All in favor, say
No, it's
aye.
right there for you to sign.
Oh, he laid it over here.
Yeah.
This is for you to sign, sir.
You do. You're the owner, not me.
I am the owner.
Here,
I
I
didn't know I
got
owned a water
a
board.
nice pen here for you.
I have to do it in blue ink. They look at black ink. They don't look at red. They always look at black out there, Thrasher. Okay. Here we go. Got it right here, funding agency. It's the day's date, 11/13.
Then you got that front page,
Okay,
right in the middle. Right
authorized
between
owner.
two thorns, yeah.
The dates are all
Hey,
Yeah,
Gil,
right in the middle.
right
Yeah,
there.
That's it, it's right side.
how often you guys run that air compressor down there by the raw water intake?
Just in the fall, with
Just
the
in the
leaves,
fall.
we're pretty much done. The leaves are pretty much done, so
2 to 3 months out of the year? Right.
if that, normally
Title date.
normally part of October into November.
Once the
that's
leaves are
Oh,
out.
I see. how
Then
it
we
is. I
don't
didn't
use
look
it.
down there.
Is it, and do you run it continuous during that time? Or
If we don't have to, we don't. It depends. That's why they go down and check the intake. If there's leaves coming in, we got screens inside, we turn on, but if there's quite a bit of leaves, yeah, they'll run it. So there has been times it's ran 24 hours, but try not to run it more than just blow everything out. If some leaves aren't coming down, so it's kind of hard to answer
Some
that.
didn't have a title on it.
Some days it will, and some days it doesn't run at all much. Right, it hasn't been on all week,
Go
so.
scan it, send me a
I
copy.
think the water being down is killing
Yeah.
us too.
Yeah, absolutely. If the water had been up like normal, then we wouldn't have. They all came down at once pretty much and I'm in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right now,
Yes.
now he's got the pay requisition.
Yes, do they have a copy? And a copy.
Definitely got a copy.
So you have a pay requisition.
first it's in here too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's
No, you don't.
say, I
It
don't
came
see
in- it came in late this afternoon. No, it did not. Here it is.
Make an excuse, listen to him late
This is
afternoon.
hot off the press. What, 1 o'clock?
On off.
Yeah, this just came in.
Thank you, sir. Okay,
So this pay app, this is based off of our discussions, from our discussion with Jason and Green River Group last week. And to go into details, but that's what we agreed to.
This is what you were discussing our last meeting in there.
Yes.
You guys met with them in his office. Mr. Manager, you guys what? Any?
Yes,
anything?
this is, you all were included in the email from yesterday. So
But
this,
that's not in here, is it?
that includes this, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah, that,
There's a 33 in here, or whatever it was.
per my email yesterday that I sent,
You told him no.
this is what it's revised to.
It's revised to what we wanted.
Yes.
Okay.
You're recommending to approve?
I'm recommending to approve.
Okay, let's make a
I think
motion.
Mr. Calvert wants to
Wanna
come in
make the
and
motion
talk
to
to us,
approve.
I guess, at a later date, but for right now, it's
Who does?
Mr. Calvert, the owner. But this is,
But it's not in here. You've removed that amount out of here.
This is the final payment, right?
This, correct me if I'm wrong, Steve, this includes the cost for the slip lining and unforeseen conditions, and that's all. It does not include any.
That
additional-
extra, nothing above the one, let's put it this way, it's nothing above the 125.
Oh, no,
Okay,
That is correct.
that's all we're concerned about. We agreed to 125, but they wanted some extra. We said, no, all of us agreed to that. So if this is just the 125,
that's just.
I'm all for it. You like for that?
Yes, sir.
This is in line with the email that was sent.
I was trying to simplify this, but not get too complicated. Okay. All righty.
It's
We
a
have
pretty
to-
large payment. It amounts to, payment of 679.
887.
90, and the largest part of that is the paving.
Is there a number? is there a requisition
I'll make a
number?
motion to approve the contractor's application for payment in the amount of $679,887.90.
I second.
Motion, it's on a second. We just had a bunch of discussion in advance. Any more questions about this? You guys have any input you want to add to it? All right, we're ready to vote then. All in favor of approving this payment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay. All right, we're done with that, correct?
Yes.
We'll have to do a change order for anything that next time, to get everything lined up.
We'll have to do a final adjusted change order at some point, just to, there's over, some items are over, some are under.
Now, what are we talking about now?
To close this project out, you notice there's still retainage on there, that bottom
Yeah.
number, so we'll have another invoice.
A final invoice.
And it's just basically to return the retainage to them,
Yes.
because we held retainage on.
Sure,
Yeah.
we
so
held
this-
that back. I
That'll
understand.
probably be at the next meeting, correct? And then at that time, you'll do the change order.
Yeah, so if you look at the contract amount versus what is completed, is we got about 190,000 under budget. So we'll have that final change order, we'll do a final adjusting, like I said, all the pluses and all the minuses will work out.
And you'll come to a figure.
So the adjusted contract amount matches
Right.
all the work that's.
But we can't do anything about that today until you get them all worked out. So
We have-
Based on our conversation yesterday, we reach out to them, we're doing.
it's good. That's a good
our
observation.
Yeah.
You get any email back from them, or didn't?
They spoke to them this morning. That's why this was the last time. That's why this just came in late this afternoon.
Okay, but they were, that was, what was it?
It's tentative.
Sure.
Okay, that's what, that was my
Yeah.
question.
He's recommended it because it's worked out. right?
Okay, that's what my question.
Okay,
Me too.
Yeah.
ready to move on? Let's go to Snake Hollow then.
No, water system improvements, probably the big one, the big.
Well, let me see. If I go one tab too far, hang on a second. Oh, yeah, I flipped over one extra.
Phase 3A.
Okay,
All right, Doug, Steve, you tag team on that one.
Yeah, basically, we are in the process of preparing for the closing of the project pre-closing will occur on December the 4th. Yeah. So that's when all of the attorneys, everybody goes and signs, has everything done. Technically, the closing occurs on the 5th. That is the date that we have the pre-con construction meeting, and technically, you guys have already signed everything, and then the documents get signed by each of the contractors on that day.
The opposite, all the contractors have signed their documents.
I'm sorry.
I've got to
Sorry.
sign the other.
Yes, contractors have already signed, and then you are going
Have
to
to
sign
sign the other
on
one.
the 5th.
I want to make sure I have the right date. I thought I
Yes.
had the 15th. Let me look here.
But it's,
Is that gonna be here or at your office?
Our office.
It's gonna be at their office.
Yeah, I know. So.
Yeah.
Same day as the Lewis. 5 o'clock, okay. This is what time? It's 10 o'clock at your place or when?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. On Wednesday, the 4th.
No. the Thursday the 5th.
See, that's what I had the 5th before. That's the day I have to sign it.
Yes.
I kept
that's the
saying
day.
they came 4th. I said I had the 5th.
No.
Okay. That really threw me a curve. Because I know they had a meeting before we had our meeting.
Yeah. And most of the time I should just leave that out of the discussion because it does confuse things. But legally, that's when everything is basically signed, well, as far as the bonds and stuff go.
It's 2 o'clock,
2 o'clock on
5th.
the 5th, yes.
That's the day of our Christmas party, buddy. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
not here. It's another party.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're not invited?
Three,
was gonna say, have you-
Not unless you're, his father's invited.
Oh,
Lions Club.
So again, we're building up to that. The funding agencies basically are in the process of putting those documents together. And so we're just kind of at a holding mode at the moment, waiting for anything they need from us.
Shelby, we're gonna be ready.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm fine.
So on the 5th, you guys last week approved the first draw for the closing. So on the 5th, that's the day that they wire the funds to the bank account, disperse the payments, and then we'll be ready to do subsequent payments as the months go.
Great.
on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Things are going along pretty smoothly.
Yeah,
Thanks to you.
we're basically across the finish line in my opinion. I know we have a lot.
Across the finish line, hey.
It's like, the administrative part is like, really heavy on the front end. Now we do construction, and to me, it's kind of a breeze.
Now, you guys take, but we got the first phase, now we're rolling, now we go to the second phase coming up here, not too far down the road.
So for what it's worth,
Yeah.
in my world, Doug Smith's world, the day we sign the contracts for the contractors is the day that I consider the job done. And so now I start looking at phase 3B.
3B.
And how are we gonna fund that? Getting ready for design, because what we want to do is, as this has been constructed over the next 2.5 years, we want to work on the design over the next 2.5 years.
Which
So-
is 3 years out, we have the other project.
Exactly. And so we want to keep this thing rolling. And so we're designing and constructing at the same time. So that in essence, over the next, we'll call it 7.5 to 8 years, you're under construction for this project. We're, again, through first phase of 3A, now we're starting into construction. Now we need to look at the next phase, 3B.
Okay.
So I'll come back at some point. We'll start talking about that. We'll take a slight break on it, but not much.
Good deal. Any other questions?
Yes, what about the marketing side?
I have the proposal letter Mary sent to me this morning. I've not had a chance to review it myself. I will get that to you.
We need to look and talk about that, sign off on that whole thing.
Yep.
This is when she says marketing, I guess you're talking public awareness and keeping them informed as we go along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Part of that also includes the construction of a website for you.
Yeah, he mentioned that to me.
And we will do that update for those streets that are being worked on from our side. We'll take care of that. So I'll have that for you ready. I apologize for not having it today, but I didn't want to hand it to you until I had a chance to look at it myself.
Because my concern is we gotta have to get these neighborhood meetings underway.
We'll, on our side, we'll start as soon as you are ready.
We've already talked to some people,
Yeah.
so let's not forget that. He had me talk to people. I don't want to go jumping around. They've already got some commitments for sites. and
Well,
stuff.
we're committed to you and to this project, and so we'll get started on this, what we've got to sign a contract on.
We just need to make sure we're in the loop.
Here,
Absolutely. You guys will be driving the train.
We've already talked to some people about locations for Staley and so on.
Yeah. The only thing we're going to do is do the legwork and stuff for you and provide you support. But you guys, this is your neighborhoods, and I really
Thank
think
you.
you guys need to be the front people out there on this. So again, we're ready to roll based on the last comments we had, Jay, on the document proposal.
so have the prices changed
Think so.
a little bit here?
which one were we talking? Oh,
This has got Marissa and Kevin, their task.
is this the one we just looked at?
It's one thing about a week or two ago, a couple weeks ago. Of course, I twisted his arm from the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, we're a little different.
So the question, in essence, might be a Shelby question. Can these fees be taken out of the project?
What's that?
Can these fees be taken out of the project, or is this something we're going to have to fund with internal funds?
Good question. You think there'd be money to help facilitate a project?
Well, this here's Schedule B.
We've
This-
done the budget and we have not included this. So
Well,
if there happens to be, I don't think.
Well, we need to, I'll tell you, let's do this, and we can talk some questions, but we're gonna have another go at this, not today. We'll sit here, if we have other questions to kind of formulate it. That's the trouble about meetings, that we can move along, we get side discussions, and we have questions to ask, but we can't resolve it unless we're just there
No,
talking.
and what I'd like to do, again, I've got that proposal today. I'll review it tonight. I'll send it to Jason tomorrow. He'll be able to distribute it to you guys. You can take a look at it. If you've got questions, you can send them to me before the next meeting. And again, we'll run on what that is, and then we'll.
This is will stall, so I'm getting the meetings
No,
out.
no, guys, this, in my life, this is not big enough of an issue for me to stop anything. Okay, so we're committed here.
You don't think we can get it enough out there through the, exponent telegram?
Well,
Getting that.
what we're
you know,
doing is, we need media help.
Especially with, especially the website, getting it out, it's a big project, city news, I thought it'd be maybe.
That's
Well, I think, are you talking about the whole thing compared to that?
Yeah.
I think if the benefit of meeting in the, you can have an interactive Q&A with neighbors, where like the newspaper or the TV, they're just hearing, I might ask a question in a group setting where answer someone else's, in the neighborhood can kind of,
Well, yeah, I understand, but, not really the website, but in the meetings, I'm all, for, that meeting there, the answer, but I was talking about the website as a whole.
Well, there's going to be some questions about that, but we had some discussion. We really haven't discussed this openly. I had my marketing and PR is what I did for a living. The thing is, I envision us using direct mail directly to our own company. We could go right in with our bills, even probably an insert, like we do other things, but we need to let them know what we're doing. So the first thing is neighborhood meetings, just to get the public interact, like he said, an exchange, some dialogue, ask questions. Those who want to come and learn, they can come and so on. That's just a one-time event for the neighbor, the 3 sections or whatever. Secondly, you have your direct mail pieces going out, but then you have the problem of keeping people updated on daily things.
Yes.
My street's here, I've got to get around, how am I going to go here? That's where you're going to have some issues.
changes.
And then and that's what how we're going to handle that. And also the progress. People want to know how far along you are, how long things are going to take. Because we see a street, it takes a long time, and we're going to do a bunch of streets. A lot of people think it's going to happen overnight parking and inconveniences. So there's going to be some pain. We just have to let them know we understand that. We're trying to make it ease the burden of pain as much as we can, but we can't eliminate it totally in some places.
And one of the things we want to do, to answer your question, Chad, is there is a very certain demographic that reads newspapers. And
Not everybody gets it.
Not everybody does, and quite frankly, most of the younger groups don't. So the 20s to 30s very seldom do that. And so the electronic version is to be able to reach all of the people that we can. The other thing is the website. I'm envisioning that we're going to have a section there that allows people to shoot questions back to us and answer these questions.
Interactive.
Now, some of them, quite frankly, we're going to end up ignoring because it's going to be, why is this exhaust blowing into my window?
Right.
Okay, whatever. But there's going to be some good questions that actually come through there. And so that allows a little bit of two-way communication. Second thing that does is it directs it to the website instead of to your front office. And so we're trying to minimize your all's impact here as much as possible. And we'll have our inspector, our PR, checking on those things every day. So if we have someone at 512 Hall Street that's causing complaints about it, then they can go directly to that person and try to, some of those questions we will have to direct to you because they're going to be directed toward policy issues, but we want to try to redirect them away from your office. as much
Okay.
as possible.
That makes more sense.
And we have these public meetings.
One of the biggest things driving the website, the transportation director for Harrison County Board of Education, showed something to look at to see if it needs to reroute
Okay.
buses.
That makes sense.
EMS, fire department's going to use
Like
it.
we did
The
before.
911 center is going to use it. Even the DOH traffic center in Charleston is going to use it to see where roads are being detoured and things like that. No, this is going to be real time. So if they're going to shut a street down
Gotcha.
tomorrow, they're going to have this news
Nice.
flash. It's going to say,
Right there on
you
the
know,
Yeah.
so they can log on there.
Well, hopefully we'll have
They'll
more
be
than a
able to
one-day
see.
notice. to shut
Well,
this
what we're
down.
really hoping for is that we can do this a week at a time and that the contractor is not going to be changing or whatever. We may have one section that says, hey, we are working on, Pike and Main or Pike Street or whatever. If it rains, we will be working on this street instead. So we may have to do something like that if we've got something that's sensitive. Or, we get a last minute notice that, hey, our basketball team won the state champion. They want to do a parade downtown on Wednesday night. Okay, so we're going to say, hey, work schedule has changed because they won it this weekend, so now we're going to do this instead. So we want to get it to be as interactive as we can, try to get as many people as we can also.
I appreciate it, because it just shows like not much on here, so I'm
Well,
glad
this
you
is
went
very
about
basic.
that.
The proposal will be a little bit, I think, a
More
little bit
detailed.
better detailed, and we were just trying to get.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect. It makes much more sense. The biggest thing then is really just promoting the website for people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's part of the deal for the public
Public
meetings.
meetings.
In the public meetings, we will have to, there's logistics to work out.
Yes.
Who's going to do it, what you're going to do, what we're going to present. Do we need some audio visuals? Do we need some pass out pieces, info pieces, whatever? That all's got to be
We
discussed.
always want to give people something to take home.
Yes, that's right. And that would have contact, a description of what we're going to
Yes.
do. But it can't be so finite that we're going to do this street first and this street. We don't have that. This is the generalities of what could
Yes.
happen. Any other questions on this? Let's move on then, okay? All right.
Snake Hollow Road, water line extension project. Steve,
All right.
what's the big news there? We've got some good stuff to report there.
Big news, so, got the easements put together, and I think Jason, was approved last about the easement signed yesterday, I believe. So we'll be in the process of getting those recorded
Tomorrow, and then you actually have it in your inbox when you get back to the office.
tomorrow, and then we'll load that back in Tim's lap to get the preliminary title opinion done on that, and then we'll put it down over to the plastic commission. I'm not saying they're gonna grant it.
Are we going to be delaying this for a couple more months or what?
No, I think, we would be.
Can we work through weather on this unless it's really bad?
No, it's the same concept as the big project. You still gotta advertise it for 30 days.
I'm not about the bidding, when we actually start to work.
And I would say it's probably gonna be May before construction would start.
I was going to say, I didn't know.
We come you 30 days to bid the project, up to 90 days to award it, and then order materials.
So you're up into March, April. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. We've been talking about the Snake Hollow for a long time. I guess I'm anxious to get rid of the snake. All right. Thank you, Steve.
Well,
All right. Next thing is what, the pump station on Second Street.
Yes,
Pump Station Second Street, so, good news, we've got, was actually able to get the pump supplier that we prefer, on site to look at things. He is working on the plans for that specifically. We talked to Jason yesterday about making sure that we have a connection for an emergency generator. We're not purchasing a generator with this, we want to make sure we got a connection for it. Just in case we need it, we know right now that we can operate without the tank in the system if we have to, but who knows, we may need that. So that was one of the things we looked at yesterday. As soon as he gets that plan to me, then we will be going out to bid. So I'm pushing him to get that information.
That pump will have a permanent electrical.
Yes,
Was it three-phase or a single?
It'll be three-phase. If I remember right, it's 480 volt. Going to be up there, so that'll let us buy slightly more efficient pumps than what we would. You know, the lower the phasing goes, then the less efficient you get. But we are a three-phase, and yeah, it's gonna be a nice permit setup.
Okay, how about the THHM removal?
I will let Shelby handle that one there.
So I had a meeting with the EPA project officer, Jason and Bob were able to join, and we discussed the plans moving forward. It's a new program to everybody. The EPA officer has never even done a project like this, so there's still a lot of unknowns, but she's supposed to get back to us about the procurement of the materials and some of the other, specifics of the start date, but, yeah, we made that first contact and now we're just waiting to get what we need from EPA.
So we're going to get the 3.8 million. It's just not working out the details.
Yeah, there's an upfront process, of course, to get the materials procured and the contractors and all of that, so,
Sure.
but,
The good thing about this, her name's Kelly O'Neill. She's an engineer. And she understands this stuff. Bob was getting kind of geeky on there what he was getting in the weeds with it. And this lady she was eating it up. So it all made sense to her, and she understands the urgency of moving this project forward. So her plan is to get this ready for notice to proceed in February. Is that correct?
yeah, I think that sounds about right.
So between now and that date, Shelby's gonna be feeding her a bunch of information to procurements and just a bunch of different things. We do have money in our budget for some upfront cost, but we can't get reimbursed for those costs until we get that notice to proceed. So we're not gonna go out on a limb until we get all the proper approvals, so. But I think we got a pretty good start. I think she's gonna learn more about the project this week, correct? And then she's supposed to follow up with you,
Yeah,
I think next week to schedule another follow-up meeting because she's dealt with other EPA grants, but this is the first of its kind. It kind of got laid in her lap because we're the only one in her region that got this money. So she got it. So she's excited about it, but doesn't know all the particulars either. So, but she's supposed to learn all that this week.
Well, obviously, let us know if we need to do anything on that end. We're gonna follow your lead on that.
Yep.
I know we had put money in there for engineering, but it sounds like they're gonna do a significant portion of that themselves.
Right.
So we're just standing back. You need to
Let us know. Very good. Anything else to add to that, Shelley? Feel good on there, honest? All right. All right, we got the annual Christmas stipend, and Jason, what he did, he put the stipend scenarios in here, kind of to show you all from 2023 back to 2013 of what the board has done over the years. Last year, you all approved this as net pay of $250. So you all can look up here from $300 down to $50. You can kind of see.
We've done with the past history. We've always done it this way. What we've done each year, how much we've given, and the gross up, and then the net pay and so on. Then we gross it up with the additives. So you see what we did last year and so on. I'm not sure. We have some discussion about employee performance. Do we have to do that in open floor? I just don't know.
No, not in this particular.
I think this has to be open discussion.
Yeah. I mean,
In the past, we just went ahead and talked about it. It all has to do with budget. It all has to do with budget. And it's difficult. We have somebody about the budget. They've been.
this is the gross pay. It means that's what explain how you got that.
The gross pay is what it has to be, what's the gross amount that we'll put in.
That's what actually
To
costs
net
the
them.
water board.
Okay, but,
For the employee.
show what we've done in the past.
Yes, right here.
Okay.
This is what
We've done the past.
Okay, got
This is what actually costs us.
The bottom column. This is
Oh.
this is what we've done in the past. The top column. Different amounts you see over here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, anything that's labeled, sorry, kind of off here. Anything that's labeled in the 2024 column, these are your options.
Those
And
are
then
the
these are
options,
the ones,
this
this
is
is
what we
what
did
has
in
been
the
done in the
past.
past.
Gotcha, thank you.
In other
Yeah.
words,
Yeah.
just for compensation,
That's-
last year it was $250.
Okay, there we go.
That top section
And
is
then
options,
for
that's what we done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 years, it was
There we
$200.
go. That's what I was.
And last year, we raised it to 250 because of all the stuff we've gone through with the different projects and so on. And
We have money budgeted, right?
Yes, but that's part of it's factored into every year's
and
budget.
it looks like it's going to go up from last year. It would be to go to 250.
We did 250 last year.
It's going to go up 29.
Why is that? More people?
I think we had 2 more people than last year, I believe. I think we had, sorry,
Yeah, we got
39 this year, and we had 37 last year.
We used to have 40-some people when I first got on this board.
What are we in the, right now in the black? I know how far are we up for the budget for the year?
Right now, we're at, like I said before, I think, what,
0.58%, under budget.
our expenses are under budget by, sorry, right here. Our expenses are under budget by 2.53%.
Last year was 10.
Well, I'm good with 300, going up to 300 this year. I make a motion, we go to 300.
Okay, well, we make a motion. Go ahead.
Okay, make a motion.
Yeah, I think it's 250
I'll second the motion for,
for discussion. Okay. That's a significant increase in our budget over the previous year.
There's so many projects that have been going on.
We have historically been very generous. And you can see the years, it's been 200, 200, 200, 200, 250. And I have no problem going another year with 250 personally. It bumps our budget up. I know we have 2 more people. But then the following year, we're going to jump it up again. And then, it's pretty soon it gets.
Well, with inflation and everything this year, how bad it was, inflation was. I mean, for people, I just feel like 300, let's settle different, split the difference, 275.
well, I appreciate what Al's saying because it seems like we just keep piling on. The one thing I like about this is,
Benefit cost and
it's
everything.
one time. We budget for it, we have a good year and we have the money for it.
This doesn't go into any kind of retirements. or
Yeah, and I agree with
anything
Chad,
factored
it's
into it.
the way the inflation's just.
It's a one-time, it doesn't go to
That's what
retirement.
this
It's an extra $50.
Nothing like
I mean, it's not that much, I mean,
Well, it's,
plus
we're jumping in essence, we're jumping up $100, except for last year, it's a little more.
But we're up, what, you said 2%?
Yeah, we're up 2.53%,
So-
or under budget.
Under budget.
I mean, I like our employees and so on. I'm just thinking about when you start a pattern of this and the next year it's another.
Well, next year it could be 0.
I mean,
Well, absolutely,
be,
if we don't
it
have,
could
we're
be.
not
That's
raising
what I'm saying,
rates.
if we don't have
Oh,
the
it's not,
money.
I know it's not in any contract.
And I appreciate your perspective because I think we need more of that.
I think we need to show people that we're being as frugal as we can
But I
and not
think,
putting the burden on our employees. I'm okay with you guys want to do it.
I think it'd be okay. I think everything that, Jason's been working with the guys,
It's never going backwards ever.
My biggest things, just how much projects, how much they've been saving on water costs. We got a good crew, a lot of stuff in the future, inflation went crazy this year. I mean, granted, we might not do this much, it's not next year's, we'll have to see.
I got you. I
That's
got you.
That's my.
I got you. I guess I'm just a little tighter because I look at all the increases and things we give our employees over the year, benefits of all kinds of stuff. It's not like with the word, a poor mouth.
Oh, I agree, I agree, we.
Our employees are very, very good. So there's no question about it. So let's go ahead and vote on this because I would say you got a motion on the floor for 300 as the net pay. All in favor, say aye. Unanimous decision. Let's move on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the meeting schedule for November and December. I want to put that on there so we can get the rest of the year's meeting scheduled, so the newspaper
That's
knows
good.
when we're going to meet.
Let's get a thing out here and look. We always have a little get together. Let me look at it here. Our next meeting, our first.
week of Thanksgiving. It's our next schedule.
Yeah.
It's the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, can you do that? Yeah, 'cause I appreciate it. Yes, thank you. Perfect, thank you.
Kansas meeting, but you have people next week too.
I got that.
Are you gonna be off that week, Jason?
We can have a meeting. I don't negotiate with our manager here. Is there anything, can we prepare for a meeting like towards the end of next week? Just a brief meeting of some sort,
Yeah.
Still bring reserve.
like next Thursday.
We do all the best things say
Wednesday,
project from the line.
Or Friday.
Yeah.
22nd.
22nd.
You know what I mean?
What if we did a meeting on the 22nd? It gives you better than a week and a half. About a week and a half.
Chad, November 22nd, all right with
We're
you?
gonna move a meeting to the 20th, Friday, next Friday.
Before Thanksgiving?
Right, yeah, I'm the only person on the department, I just can't get off, I can do Mondays.
Can you join us on the phone for,
I can do,
it'll be a brief meeting and we can set the time.
What time would be good for you?
well, I'm in the hospital field, so if I have a,
When's your lunch?
I thought we were doing the, yeah, I do have lunch, but, hold on a second. I thought we were doing the, next meeting on the, that Tuesday,
The 19th?
the one before Thanksgiving, that,
26.
that's what, I thought we discussed that
Well,
earlier.
that week we can't have a meeting that week.
Jason's gonna be out there.
He's gonna be on town.
Oh, okay, because that's what,
That
what I-
changed.
what- that's what,
We
okay,
moved
that
that,
changed?
we moved that
Okay.
to accommodate your thing and then we're gonna move it up 2 days.
Okay.
Well, you really don't need to be here. Jason doesn't.
Kathy's not gonna be here either. That's week of
I'll bring
Thanksgiving.
drinks.
Well, I'll
Hold
tell
on
you
one
what,
second.
Shelby, can you be here that day?
The 22nd,
I just,
I'll tell you if you really know.
what time of the day? Can you do it in the morning? We can do it.
It's, you know, just because it's the hospital, I can have a patient coming in anytime, but I'm just trying to think of something. That could maybe work.
Join us on the phone.
Let's see here.
And we can always move any votable items up front, you know, or whatever.
Okay, so
If it's like my doctor's office, you can wait an hour.
Well, yeah,
I'm just kidding. Half hour.
yeah, I'm in the admissions department, that's the problem. Let me see here.
You know what I mean?
Why don't we have it on the, instead of just, how about the 4th and the 18th? December.
And before the 18th,
I don't know if we're gonna have a lot of information that short a time.
Well, I don't think.
okay, if we can do it like at a noon, honestly, this is my lunch, if it's gonna be short, like half an hour, I mean, I'd say that's my lunch, I'm gonna do it at lunch.
Okay, let's do it this way. We'll just make an executive decision, right, here, executives. We're gonna meet Friday. It'll be a 12 noon meeting. We'll move any votable stuff right up quick to help him if he gets in a jam. If we see it's happening, like any meeting, we can adjust the agenda and say, you think you're gonna be tied up for a half hour? We'll just adjust it a half hour.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing I can find out, like if someone's coming.
Yeah.
In the morning, I'll know like when they'll be there.
Let me see if you get into a problem.
Yeah, then I
Move
do
the
the
meeting,
moving, so that
half
works,
hour,
so-
Whatever.
That's-
Okay,
I appreciate that.
Also on the 4th and the 18th?
so we're gonna do the 4th and 18th.
Is that what you're gonna do for December?
That's what you were suggesting.
I was gonna say, normally we just have one meeting in
Well,
December.
we
We
can
normally
do
just have
it.
one meeting in December, usually right in the middle.
We can do it. We have our Christmas thing. We do that the 18th of
Well,
February.
the normal would be the 11th and the 25th, actually Christmas Day. That's our normal.
You're not working that
The
day?
4th and 18th,
I live in Florida. I can get it.
Way to go, Paul.
the 4th and 18th works for me.
Okay.
In the summer.
So can we have our Christmas get together on the 4th?
That's the Shining
That's too
Tribute
soon.
to the VA.
So we have it on the
I mean,
18th.
for the lunch.
Could do the 18th,
18th.
right, Chad?
That's Wednesday.
18th Wednesday.
Wednesday's the 18th, yeah.
You probably want to be, because it only gives you a week to schedule,
Okay,
That's
All right.
about- That's about right.
Executive.
Yeah.
okay, executive decisions again. We're gonna meet the 22nd at noon. He's gonna join by phone,
Okay.
okay? We're gonna meet at the 4th, and on the 18th, we're gonna have our luncheon meeting, okay?
Okay, I do have one question before we do that.
Yeah.
Would it help at all if we had it on,
I'm still in the meeting. I'm still
On-
in the meeting, but we should be.
the 19th, would that work? Because I'm off
Oh,
that day.
okay.
I'd
The
rather,
19th of what?
the 19th of November for that meeting instead of the 22nd, because we could have a full meeting.
Doesn't make any difference to me. That just moves it along. Is that just a day early or what?
It's 2 days early. Instead
Well,
of
that's
Friday,
all-
we would have it on a Tuesday.
Well, that's only a week from now. That's not much time to make a difference, but a week and a half.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just work with my schedule on that Friday.
So this is the agreement, guys. Everybody okay with this? By
What
consensus?
time do you think we're gonna be on the 22nd?
Noon.
What- what-
Right?
Friday, yes.
We're on the 22nd, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, just to restate this. November 22nd, a regular meeting, that's at noon time. On the 4th, we'll get our regular time at 3 o'clock.
And then the,
And on the 18th, we'll meet at 11 that morning,
okay.
because that's our day of our lunch.
Yeah.
You got the times? Yep. You got the dates? Right.
The only,
Noon, 3, and 11. You got the times?
We'll give you guys an update to Jason on the 3rd. We won't be here on the 4th. We've got a company, conference that whole day on the 4th, so we'll give you our updates.
Sure.
Ahead.
Okay. All right, guys, sounds like good. What else do we have to do now? Mr. Manager,
We have an executive session.
do we have something we have to discuss?
Oh, I've got,
I think we did.
yes. Okay, well, that, all right, so is there any board member reports or comments?
No.
All right, I just got a few things here.
Okay.
The apprenticeship opportunity with Harrison County Board of Education.
Right.
Bobby Pizzini and I met with Pamela Knight, Jerry Beckett to discuss apprenticeship opportunity in the distribution department.
Now we'll talk about that a little bit. Pamela Knight, she's still the principal at Liberty or what?
She is, no, she works some special program
Okay.
through the board office. She works at
All
Alabama.
right.
This program would be offered at Robert C. Byrd.
Because Liberty's going away.
Yes, the Robert C. Byrd, this will be aimed at Robert C. Byrd. Ms. Knight and Ms. Beckett, took notes and plan to provide some sample work plans. We're going to be getting an agreement, put together. This is going to be between the Water Board and the Harrison County Board of Education. The Rural Water Association will not be part of this. This will be
It's all
part
right.
of our Partners in Education agreement with
Robert C. Byrd and Board of Education.
Yeah, our plan is to deploy this program next school year.
Sure.
So it'll be the fall of 26.
Well,
So
you-
we got some work to do. Very excited about the opportunities that's available at the distribution area. Actually, when you sit down, you actually start writing things down, you're amazed of what all happens down there. I mean, you've got Mike Wilt, your mechanic, you've got Bob, you've got Frankie DeFazio in the meter shop that does a bunch of different things. And you got Dave Burns that does the draftsman,
Sure.
and you got Mark's lines and has all these different equipment that really, you've got your Trimble, so you're out there, they got all the leak detection equipment and stuff, to do an inventory where Larry does the inventory.
Yeah.
And then fire hydrant
Well,
maintenance.
there's so many jobs.
Yeah, just so, I mean, they were just blown away at all the different things that we can offer the kids. And then if we've got some retirement coming up here in 3 years or so, we get these kids in here as a sophomore, by the time they get in here and graduate, we're already gonna have a lot of them
They
picked
can stick around.
to apply here and stay
What
here.
kind of certifications will they have? Any of them?
They call it completer certificate. I guess it's in the Board of Education arena.
Yeah, but how about our certificates? Are can we certify or qualify operators on equipment or?
The way she talked, I think so.
They're gonna get credit for, they're gonna make some kind of credit
We'll
thing
get
for
some type
them.
of completer certificate.
Yeah, but for us to certify them in anything, I don't know. I really don't know
Yeah,
that.
they were gonna look into that, but they'll get a completer certificate of, running the backhoe or a skid steer, fork truck, or, just different things.
Along our safety permit.
Meter testing, we can bring the PSC, they can get their meterman's
But
card.
it's different from, we just piloted one along with the rural water. And it was successful
Yes,
with Liberty High School. I think Pam was involved in that.
yes.
So we're just going to continue that program on with the Board of Education.
Right.
Not a specific school, but probably RCB, because we're partners with RCB.
The West Virginia Rural Water Association's programs geared toward water operators.
Okay.
So we want to expand that to another area, because not everybody's destined to be a water operator.
No,
They want to do something else.
sure.
And if we can give these kids a start, learning how to run a backhoe, an excavator,
Okay.
a skid steer,
How about
they can
things
go to
like,
the oil fields.
now you're
wherever
getting
else.
into areas too. What about insurance and stuff like that with these kids?
Yeah, we'll just have to add, we already have an insurance policy now, we'll just have to,
Because they get doing backhoes
Do a
and
rider.
different things, so it's a little more.
They're not gonna be out in the streets and just like up around the shop in the dirt piles, stuff
Correct.
like that.
yeah,
I'm not gonna.
You're not
say-
gonna actually out there
Yeah.
working and digging a hole.
they won't be driving any of our equipment or anything out.
I will use them to clean up from leaks and stuff like that.
Sure.
They'll run, hand tools and things like that, but nothing
Yeah,
that's gonna.
Well,
hurt.
the thing is, and with them being exposed to what we do and so on, that's where you can get a full employees be, hey, I enjoy doing this, it's something I might want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But any questions on that?
in winter time, they may change their mind.
Okay.
The next thing is a hazard mitigation grant program. I'm working with Tom Brown and Region 6 Planning Development Council on a grant for new generators. I say generators because we're gonna try to get one generator to run the campus. We may need two because we have a pole building, the sledge press down here, and the sledge basins, all kind of dissected from the rest of the campus. So we may have to have two generators. I'd like to have one to run everything. We may have to
How
have
many
two.
services do we have now?
We just have one generator that runs,
How many permanent services do we have?
when you say service.
Utilities coming in off the power line.
No, just one comes right into our,
And we feed everybody off this one right
Yes.
here?
except for some reason down here, they're dissected. The
Oh,
pole building's
I
separate.
think it's on a separate
It's on a
service.
separate circuit, so it's,
But
this
everything's on
campus,
one service.
So you're gonna have to have at least
except
two
for that.
then.
yes, that's what, but Scott thinks we might be able to tie them together, but that's why I put plural, yes.
Well, I mean,
Generators.
we wouldn't necessarily want to if one goes down, the other one doesn't.
Yeah, and good point, yeah. But that's why I put plural, is because right now, there is no generator backup. So
Well,
when
this-
the power goes off, they can't get the
How
doors
will
up
this,
down.
how will this affect our current generator? We keep it, and this is an additional.
Current generator, it is,
Well, okay, but I mean,
Obsolete.
well, what happens? It replaces it.
it will replace it. Yes,
That's what
this
I'm
unit will be
getting at.
outside.
So that goes away. Okay.
Yes, yeah, the new generator will be outside. And then we're just going to dismantle this one in
How about
place.
funding on it and all that?
It is a 75-25 grant.
It's not bad.
No. So 75 federal, 25 local.
And we
match.
provide essential services, not only to our citizens, but we also do the hospitals, the FBI. So many things depend on our water. We should be able to get money.
To answer Paul's question, that the pole building down there, it is on its own, separate electrical, thing.
Yeah.
We get a special bill for it.
So we don't have to
A
have
separate bill for
So
it.
we get an electrical bill, so it's completely off the grid up here.
Yeah, so when we go down, there's no power on that side.
So you have to dismantle the old generator? What kind is it?
What is it?
What kind is it? Is it natural gas or diesel? or-
It's diesel.
Diesel.
What is that, an old cat engine down there?
Yeah, it's pretty good size, if not seen it.
Yeah, it's a nice, they built a plant around it.
Yeah.
It's down here where,
It's
motors are?
You just walk out on the high, so yeah, look down at it, yeah, you
I've
can see
seen
it.
it, okay.
It's big.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
There's gotta be some value in that though, right?
There's no, according to the service guy that was here last time, there's just no parts. I mean, they
Scrap it.
you don't have to end up taking a torch and cutting that thing out of there.
I
all
would
day.
think, yeah.
And we take that scrap material and sell it.
Does it work?
It's working right now, it ran yesterday,
It runs on,
Tuesday.
that's what it's set up on its practice.
Yeah, it runs for 15, 20
Is it
minutes.
big enough to operate what we have?
It does. I mean, but the thing is, it's not reliable. That's the bad part.
We've had problems with it?
Has it gone down? Have we had problems with it before?
We've had problems.
Like what?
It don't stay running, it overheats.
Never heard anything about that before. Have you heard that?
Yeah, all day, I remember I called you that one time, remember we were down, is it overheated?
Oh, that's right. It was just a short period of time.
Yeah.
I can't
Power
remember what
back
happened.
on, thank
Yeah,
God.
I
Yeah,
remember that.
commercial power back on.
And we were concerned if it stayed off for a long time, we'd have problems.
Yeah, we actually had an issue a few years ago, I can't remember how many years ago, but we actually had I think it was Kelly's generator. We had a big old tractor trailer back there that was dropped off with the generator. We had it for about a week. I think, and we had to operate off of it for a few days because of the generator being down and problems with that.
That generator is used for just backup?
It is, yeah.
What
There's
does it
about,
cost?
there's about 30 seconds from the time the power kicks off and it kicks on. And
What are we talking about price wise?
for a generator, if you do a diesel, you're looking at about 500,000 down, about 500,000. You do natural gas, you're looking at about 900,000.
Are you gonna have to replace your, transfer switch too?
Transfer switch, that's what we talked about last time. We've already got it at $62,000.
Which is being,
You got you.
it's ordered.
Is there capacity to handle natural gas? Yeah, because, the city was looking at the Robinson Grand years ago and, natural gas wasn't an option because they said they didn't have the capacity.
I don't think they would either.
I don't know the size lines they got out here.
Your generator costs will go up also.
Right.
That's what he said, it's 900
Yeah.
or versus,
Yeah, like
So, but it's nice to
it was
have.
like
That's
$300,000
what these
more.
were.
'Cause
Is there a conversion kit you can get where you can do both?
Not that I'm aware of,
You're talking
because it's
natural
two
gas.
completely different combustions.
Yeah.
that are-
Yeah.
Okay.
Gail, the one we have now, does it have a self, like once a month exercising where it comes on?
No, once every week, every Tuesday,
Okay,
comes on
every
about
Tuesday.
9
Yeah,
to 9:20.
period of time, I don't know how often.
Yeah, every Tuesday at like 9:05 to 9:20-ish.
But it doesn't go under a load, does it? It just runs.
Yeah, it just runs the
It
mixture.
shows that it comes on, but,
Yes, correct.
but you have to manually do it or does it come on?
No, it does it all by itself. Yeah, absolutely.
But it doesn't run under a load.
Because I know a
Which
lot of
means we don't
homes,
switch over.
there's,
Yeah, right.
a lot of people's residences have that stuff. Okay, well, you give us some ideas. What else do you have there, Mr. Manager?
The last thing, serving as your non-state representative on the PEI Finance Board, we've been hosting public hearings around the state this month. I was, actually last week, last night I was in Martinsburg, tomorrow I'm in Wheeling. Just to let you all know that non-state premiums are projected to increase 16%. 16%, yes. Now, however, this is in line with our 5-year projections. When we presented, when we switched over to the Plan C, we projected 18%. So we're still good. So this 16% is in line with our 5-year projection. So
How are you received?
how are we being received?
Yeah, at your last,
Not very well.
mostly, what kind of state employees were there complaining?
State employees, I can count on one hand, both sessions I've been,
That's good.
not very many state employees. A lot of teachers, a lot of retired educators there. I'd say 2 non-state, which cities and county has been there, not many of those folks. 95 to 98% of the folks in the audience is teachers. Rightfully so. I
Sure,
understand
yeah.
that.
But I mean,
State workers
So,
is 14%, retirees.
you say rightfully so. What do you mean? Why
Well,
should they, I mean, have they looked at the private market and compared apples to apples?
they have.
I mean, my wife's a teacher, I know that answer, but what do they say when you, show them their other options?
It's the promises, and we're talking these older folks that's in lieu of pay raises, they've been promised. And this is nothing that the PEI board has promised anything, but legislators and governors in the past, in lieu of pay increases, they've provided these benefits at low to no cost to employees.
Yeah.
Well, that time's changed now.
Caught up with them now.
And I understand, especially in Martinsburg last night. I heard him loud and clear, but there's not much I can do. I know Martinsburg borders Loudoun County. So you've got, they're competing with Maryland, they're competing with Virginia, and you got through the suburbs of DC. I get it. You've got service personnel making $30,000 there. trying to make a living up there and it costs us going through the roof. I get it. Here we are, what, put 14% on their backs, and we're also changing deductibles. 40% here, double this, and spousal surcharges, going from $147 a month to $350 a month. And we're looking at collapsing the salary tiers. All these changes in 1 year. We were dealt these cards, and not to get into the politics of things. Last year, Senate Bill 268, the Hospital Association got in the ears of our legislature in Charleston, and they changed. DEI used to reimburse for in-hospital inpatient care at about 50 to 55% reimbursement. Okay, we had a 5-year plan to get us to 100% of Medicare reimbursement. Well, the Hospital Association got the legislature to pass a bill that PEIA is to reimburse 110% of Medicare reimbursement for inpatient care. That blew us off the charts. So you have that going on. We didn't know what effect that was going to have in our budget because we went from 50 to 55% to 110% in just in a few months. They passed it in February. It went in effect July 1st. So we had to change gears pretty quick. Then you have your GLP-1. You have your GLP-1s. That's your Wegovy. That's your Ozempic.
Oh, yeah.
That's all these weight loss drugs.
Yeah, you're talking about classification.
$52.5 million spent just last year on one drug category.
Wow.
That takes,
That's high-end stuff too.
because of the GLP-1s and the hospital reimbursement increase, that put us in a deficit of $87 million this year. $87 million.
52.
So the governor and the legislature here last month approved a one-time transfer into our reserve. Otherwise, we'd have to do a mid-year increase. Mid-year, in the current year we're in, 25%.
So what happens next year?
If the proposal that we're putting in place, and we don't get any pressure from higher ups, and we go through with what we have, we're on the road to bring this back in line with everything. But we knew there was going to be a time where we were going to have to do rate increase and benefit changes. We knew that it was coming. We were trying to push it off for as long as we could, but we're here. We have to do this. And I hate it. The ones I really hated the most is the
I was
retirees.
going to ask you about the retirees.
Retirees, my heart bleeds for those folks. So I had a guy last night at Martinsburg. He's been retired for 35 years. He's making the same in 1990. His wage is what he's making today. And he has to make tough decisions. And I understand he's got to make tough decisions at the end of the month. What he needs to skip, whether he needs to maybe not spend so much on groceries so he can get his medication for the next month, or whether he's going to let us electric bill only pay,
Set them freeze to death with blankets and everything else.
And he had no reason to lie. I believe him. My heart bleeds for those folks.
What's going to happen to their living structure? What's happening? What's the dollar amount?
12%. 12% increase on the retirees, plus all those changes in deductibles. Yeah, you got your generic brands versus your generic versus your brand drugs, all those things. Your emergency visit used to be a $100 copay. That's going to be $200 copay.
Well, hopefully that discourages people using an emergency room as their primary doctor care.
And that's what we're seeing. We want people to shop around for the prescription drugs. If a generic doesn't work, then there's a process to get brand. I mean, but we're trying to get people to do generic versus brand. Because I'm telling you, pharmaceutical companies is driving this stuff. The healthcare, your hospitals and stuff's driving these costs up. And we don't have a choice. We've got to pay it. So
Well, thanks for the
just to
information.
let you know,
Then how it affects
the
us
direct effect is 16% on us,
versus 18 budgeted.
but our 5-year projection is in line with it. So there's no changes on our.
Okay, that's the big story there.
Okay.
All right, what else do you have for us?
That's all for my report. Gil, do you have anything in your department to report?
No, I'm good, thank
You want to tell them about your, just so they understand with your sampling plan? I wanted you to let them know about your 2 sampling plans. that you're
you.
working on.
For lead and copper, we're done for this year, but next year, they have reduced us to 30, the first section, but back to 60, because we were doing 60-60. So save a little money, but, the GM spoke with them and they made sure they dotted their i's, crossed their t's. And we're gonna do 2 plans at the same time. We got plan 2 actually done, but plan 1 is all 60. That will be done in the second part. Plan 2, that's the way the state done it, not us. Plan 2 is 30, we're gonna do the first in January and February. That plan's done. The second plan for all 60, we're looking at another 4 or 5 to get because we had to drop a few off for the state. So we're gonna turn them in together, get them approved, and then we'll do the first 30 January, February, and then I think it's June and July
Do the 60.
to do the 60.
So you
But
want
it's
to-
on record, and Dawn said that she can see on her computer 1 and 2, and that's the way, so we don't get in trouble not doing 60.
So it'll
or
be
going
alternated 30-60.
That's correct.
Why,
Yeah.
why do they want us to get rid of a few of the 60 that we've been testing for over a year?
We asked for reduced monitoring, so they gave
I know
us.
that, but why do they want to switch a few to 60?
They put some new guy in charge and,
So, but like, we have good data on a few.
right,
and they want us to
absolutely. We got a
get
guy that, super good guy, does it every time. The next day you
You're
get
on
it back.
Picnic
We're
Street.
Picnic Street, and they took him off.
And we're
Didn't
putting
meet his
back on.
criteria. It's a lead service line. When we first started doing, checking, it was 90 parts. The first draw. And of course, adding the phosphates, now it's down below 5, I think. But he wanted it taken off.
But we're putting
No,
it back
no
on.
reaching him behind?
He said, didn't meet his criteria, is what he said. So, well, what is your criteria? It's a lead service line. We've had record for 4 and 5 years for this poor guy. We went ahead and done it for him anyway this past time, just because.
Yeah.
But
But we're
we
gonna put
didn't
him back
turn him.
into 60. And you're gonna put him in you put him into 30?
We put him in the 30. I
And the
believe.
60.
Yes.
Yeah, so we put him back in there.
Super nice guy.
You anything to add, Bobby? Anything to add to the meeting, anything?
Yeah, just, we finished that building, got a guy coming to measure it up for metal tomorrow. And, we'll get it all in, we'll have that building completely done.
Great.
Then,
Whatever happened to that little brick building? Anything ever happened with it at all?
we're just gonna put a new door lock on it, assume it's ours, put stuff in there.
That's what I was gonna say. If they're not gonna use it, that they just don't give it to us.
Well, if he
All
would
those people living in.
if he would have,
You're gonna
if
rent
he
it
would have
or
parked
rent
the air
Yeah.
compressor a little closer to it the other night,
It'll burn up.
it'll burn up. Our air compressor caught on fire, just for you all to know. The other night, our air compressor, was fully involved, and the operator just went down and fueled it up. Everything was fine. It came back up. Next thing you know, the 911 center called and said, fire department's on scene down at the intersection of 98 Chestnut Street.
That's all right.
They said it was a generator, but they didn't know what it was. It was an air compressor. They said a generator fire.
It'll burn up.
It burnt, yeah. We already turned in the insurance company. We're working through that.
Mike can't fix it.
Today we found out we had tools in it burned up too. So we have a jackhammer and a drill.
So
So
where were these? Inside that building? Where were they?
So it's not
outside.
the gas pumps.
It was right next to the gas pump.
So,
Okay. Boom.
We shouldn't keep it there.
no,
Uh,
we should.
I think you're moving it, right?
He's getting ready to.
My guys have it right now.
Yeah. So
They're
it's
gonna
not
put it
down
in the
there.
building when they're done.
Golly.
They
What
use
else
our
do we
fire
have there,
extinguisher
Mr.
to put
Manager?
fire out.
I was thinking, let's see, what else? I was thinking Gil had something else. Oh, you're just about ready to send your stuff into the lab.
Oh,
Lab
for the lead
certification.
copper, yeah, Chris
Well,
has
for
finished
the
up a few more
certification.
things, so. His goal is be ready by December, but we'll go ahead and file January because. Dingbat's not gonna do anything in December for us, so he said just plan on sending everything 1st of January and get started at that point in time.
Yeah.
For lead copper.
Wonder how
machine.
long it'll take for that to. You just never know, do you? Well, at least we're making some forward progress,
Yeah.
trying to anyway. What else do we have? Thank you, Gil.
Yes.
That's it. Unless Jason, you have anything?
Other than, we've been working on getting the, purchase order system up and.
Oh, yeah, we
function.
talked about that last
We
time.
talked about that last time. We had, we got everything, they signed in on Monday. I had to come into the office and Aaron came in and, They did some stuff there, and then they had to do some more stuff on Tuesday. They caused a few problems and we had a few hiccups. So today they got back on, they reversed a few things they did on Tuesday, and tomorrow we're back on reverse. So now fixing what they broke and getting it fixed again. So we should have, tomorrow morning, we should be, we won't be able to be on encode tomorrow morning, but we'll have the problem. We'll have them resolved, everything resolved, and they'll be able to make the full changeover tomorrow. And be good to go. And then we'll start training. Larry and Bob Zini and Gil and Bob Davis. And Bob Davis will be when he gets back.
Anything else? That's it. That concludes our regular meeting. We're going to have an executive session. Did you want to, how long is the second? It's like very short, brief. Yeah. Be ready. If you want to wait around, we're going to have a brief executive session. I'm always aware and trying to help you with your time. Thank you all for attending. We're going to go into an executive session.
Make a
Where's the
motion that we get an executive session.
for personnel matters or whatever, I don't know.
Attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, attorney-client.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're into it. Thank you all for coming.